Yo, what up, what's going on? Episode 600 is here. We are here live in the flesh. Episode 600. I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marston, host of SRDaily, where personality meets enlightenment. And we are here for episode 600, and I'm super excited. Hold on, I haven't opened my laptop in a minute. I've been using my desktop, and so I need to get my Google Docs up on the screen. And where is my docs? All right, where's Google? Where's my Gmail? Gmail is here. Right, let's go to docs. Oh, back, get this up on the screen. I literally couldn't find my laptop. Somebody had put it in a box, so I was looking for it for like 20 minutes. Then I found it. I was gonna have to pull the desktop out. But all is divine, right? How much of a blessing is that, right? We got our special guest. He's gonna come on later. But Frank Boy, how much of a blessing is that? To be looking for your laptop, can't find it, and be like, well, I'm gonna just use my desktop. Like, and so I did a show. Probably wasn't even a show. Probably was a talk a few years ago, probably last year, and it was like still blessed. Like even with all the frustrations, right? A lot of frustrations right now in my life. Family stuff, man. The whole movie thing is frustrating. Not eating is like not so much frustrating, but it's taxing. But then I got an option to use my laptop or my desktop to do a morning show. All right, like perspective is key. All right. So yeah, I'm just grateful, man, and I know that I'm blessed, all right, and I know that I am on a divine path, man. So we got our notes up. All right, but yeah, today's episode 600, man, is also day 25 of a 50-day hunger strike. I am halfway there. I've done 30 days before. I've done 40 days before. I've never done 50 days. But we're halfway there, and I'm feeling strong. I'm down 33 pounds, down 35 pounds. I'm down 35 pounds. I'm light. I'm feeling strong. We're going to go down probably another 20 pounds, give or take, right? And then we're going to just build back up with fruits. We're going to build back up pure muscle. Fruits and calisthenics, man. And it's going to be a beautiful rest of the spring. It's going to be a beautiful summer. I got very specific goals to get a billboard body, you know what I mean, in my 40s and do a billboard in Times Square. You know what I mean? It's a very specific goal I have because I've never had a body that I was actually proud of, right? Didn't take like exercise serious when I was younger, playing sports. I skipped all the exercises, had some natural talent. And I was like similar to practice, exercise, man, I ain't doing that shit. Right. But then it catches up to you. And so now, as I committed in my 30s, now 42, I'm like, I wish I would have started when I was younger. Things would be a lot easier. Right. But that's what, I do my best to teach my children to exercise daily, work out, push ups, sit ups, right? Do those daily and walking and running. Like, and you can add all the other stuff, but that alone, push ups, pull ups. Right, my son is 13, about to be 14. So push-ups, pull-ups. If you could do push-ups and sit-ups. If you get some pull-ups or some dips, all right, you get some resistance bands, you get some strength training. You don't got to do weights. All right, a lot of people push weights. It's not something I push. You can use your natural body weight, man, to build the muscle that you want, to build the strength that you need, right? To just be physically fit, to be able to just lift things, to be able to carry your loved ones if needed, to be able to defend yourself if needed. All right. But yo, man, like I said, feeling real strong on day 25. Going outside tomorrow, right? Today, get the rest of the stuff in storage between today and tomorrow morning. And then by tomorrow afternoon, I will be in my tent in the streets. And it's going to be exciting, man. We've done it before for 2 weeks. All right, now we're going to do it for a little more than 3 weeks. And yeah, man, it's needed, right? You got to sacrifice for what you want. You got to sacrifice for your goals. You got to sacrifice to make the world a better place, right? Like the world is crumbling in so many ways. But as I always say, when the world is falling apart, that is the perfect time for builders, right? It's the perfect time for builders and creators to build and create the world that they've always desired. It's like an open market right now in so many ways. Education is falling apart. So if you're an educator, if you got a vision for education, you can build that now. People are looking for better systems. And that's what we're building with the World Healing System. And I've mentioned it a bunch of times. We're going to talk about it again tomorrow. But we're going to get to the show, right? We do got a special guest. He's going to come in a little bit. We're going to go through our 4 segments. Then we're going to bring him in. Frank Bowe is an incredible guy. He's a father. He's a husband. We're going to give a little more of his bio later. all right, because he is one of my favorite people, and I'm super excited that he is here in studio with us this morning. Share this live, tell a friend and tell a friend, come on in and join the discussion. Let us pull up these notes, man, and we're gonna get to our first segment of the day. Today's first segment is a phrase of the day. Today's phrase is something that my fiance wanted me to talk about, man. She brought it up the other day, and today's phrase is at the end of the day. At the end of the day. And I was like, who the hell came up with it? And she brought it up talking about black slang, right? And a lot of black folks use it. But as I looked it up, it actually was not created by us, right? It was created in, I think, the 1800s, I think in Great Britain, right? And they would use it just to sum up what they were saying, right? Ultimately, right? It was. I was like, yo, I did not know that. I did not know that. Right. But it is something that we say often, right? At the end of the day, and the sister, the beloved sister, Glorilla Pimp, famously said it a few years ago in an interview that she did, I believe, on CNN, talking about politics, and they asked her, I think, who she was voting for, what was her political stance, and she said something like, "I don't get into all that. That's not all that I do." And at the end of the day got to end. And that clip went viral, and people laughed, and it was funny, and it was also sad, right? Because I get that not everybody is into politics. I fully understand that. And I fully understand that politics affects all of our lives, right? In every single way, politics is impacting us, right? To how much taxes we pay, like just from our wages, right? Salaries to freaking school tax, depending where you live, right? Property tax, depending where you live, to the roads, right? To transportation, right? To house, to everything. Politics impacts every area of our lives. Food prices, gas prices, right? Gas availability, right? Like all of it to some degree is determined by the political state of the world. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, the day got to end. You heard? And so, but yeah, man, that was a funny thing. That's something Kimona wanted me to talk about, and I just had to do it. She's like, "Can you talk about this? Can you put this in there?" And then because specifically she was talking about black phrases, and I was thinking about other black phrases, and it was like, "Yo, I don't play," right? And like it's a bunch of stuff that we say, man. It's a bunch of stuff that we say that you wonder, like, where did this come from? Who came up with this? Like, how did this start? And the beautiful thing about living in an information age is that you can always look it up. You can always look into, and you may not always be able to find it, the accuracy, 100% accuracy, but you could kind of get a glimpse. You could kind of get a little insight into where this thing came from, where this saying came from, where this phrase came from, who started this, how it came to be. And it's always a dope thing. But now let's go right along to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment, as always, is our Need to Know News of the day. And today's Need to Know News is, you guys already know, I already mentioned it. We're going to breeze through this. Today is day 25 of my 50-day hunger strike, man. 25 days, no food, in the process of moving, dealing with all the emotions, back and forth with my landlord, wanting to stay, was going back and forth. He agreed. And then went back on that, and then it was like, you know what? I don't even want to stay. Dealing with stuff with my children, man. Some other family stuff going on, and just all of the stuff that happens in a life, all of the stuff that happens in the day, the stuff that I've been processing during the 25 days. But like I said, I feel incredible. And 25 day 25 of the hunger strike, and it's also the 600th episode. 600th episode of SRDaily. I was just telling Frank Bowl when I was doing 300. I spoke at an event, and one of the brothers was like, "Yo, how the fuck you get to 300?" Like, my friends and I, we stop at 17. We stop at 15. Like, I know people who did 30 and stopped, right? And part of me, right? So part of it, quote unquote, talk show or podcasting, a lot of people get into it because there are some who do it and they strike gold. They get money and they get advertisement dollars and they hit. And then a lot of people want to follow that blueprint, right? And it doesn't work for them, so they stop, right? And then scheduling and time. People are parents. People have other things going on. Understand that for me, I wanted to be a talk show host as long as I can remember. I think watching Oprah, watching Geraldo, watching Montel Williams, right? Watching freaking Ricky Lake, all of those shows back in the days. I said, I want to do that. I want to talk to people, specifically Oprah. I was like, I want to talk to people. I want to get people stories. And then I want to use my platform. I want to use the income that I generate from my talk show to be able to fund my philanthropic endeavors, right? To be able to use the income and use the popularity of the people I interview and the guests I have to raise funds to build schools and to build clinics and to take young people on trips and to do things for our seniors and to do things for fathers and do things for mothers and do things for every single group of people, right? That's what I want to do with my talk show. So yes, I want to highlight great stories. I want to talk about people who've overcome things. I want to talk about people who've talked to people who've done phenomenal things, right? People who have overcome phenomenal battles and have survived dark days and dark times. And I want to give them a platform, right? Talk to them, get to know how they think, get to know like what pushed them through, get to know how they work and things like that, right? And so they can spread their message to the world. But then also any advertising dollars that comes in, any dollars that comes in from merch, I want to be able to use that to, yes, pay a team, right? But again, to do philanthropic endeavors. And if you know me, you know my whole life is philanthropic, right? All I want to do is build community and build a better world and build a healed world. That's literally all I want to do. All I want to do. And that's what my whole life is centered around, right? At this point in my life, I've chosen time freedom, right? The most important thing, to have free time, my own time, to own my time, to be able to do whatever I want. That's in the process, in pursuit of the ultimate goals, right? To build a healed world, to heal a world, make it a better place. And now, very precisely, to build this world healing system, a system that fosters human potential, human development, human becoming, and human transformation. That's where I'm at right now. But yeah, 600 episodes, man. It started with one. Started with one episode, and I remember planning for that first episode. And I remember how I even got to planning for that. I told the story before. Probably like 2 weeks before I did the first episode, back on December 18th, 2023. I joined the webinar. This dude, Anthony Trucks, former NFL player. He's a speaker. He's a coach, right? World-renowned personal development coach. And he had spoke about what's up, cutie pie. Okay, you looking real like tribalish. I remember Anthony Trucks did a seminar on I forgot what he was talking about exactly, but he mentioned something that he was doing. He said he was challenging himself to do 5 videos in 5 days of 5 minutes or more, right? No less than 5 minutes. And I was like, wow, because he said he had an issue with consistency, right? Prior to really building what he built. And he said, and so I challenged myself. I would do a video and then I would stop, and then I would do a video and I would stop, and I would do a video, and I wasn't consistent. So he gave himself a challenge: 5 videos, 5 days, 5 minutes or less, 5 minutes or more. And you know me, I hear somebody say something like, that makes sense, but I want to one up it. So I said, let me do 7 videos, 7 days a week. Let me do 7 videos of, 7 videos in 7 days of 7 minutes or more. I'm like, and if I could do that, then like I built some consistency and I could do other things. And as I was doing those 7 videos, I didn't do them at the same time. I would do a video in the morning one day, then I would do a video in the afternoon another day, and then I would do a video at night and another day. And it was all over the place. But it was good, right? I did it. I did 7 videos in 7 days. And so the next challenge was time. If I could figure out a time that works, so I could do it every single day, no matter what's going on, no matter what I have to do in the afternoon, no matter what I have to do, if I can do it at the same time every day. And I was like, I think 9 a.m. is a good time. Because I'm like, even if like I got to be somewhere, chances I got to be there at 10 o'clock, 10:30. All right. So 30-minute show, 9:30, jump on a train or jump in the Uber right after. Or even, depending on where I got to be, I can take my equipment, laptop, and the phone and do it at a location. Right. And I started. I was like, you know what? We're going to do this show. And I was so nervous. Right. I was so nervous because I've never been so consistent. And I was like, just start. And I wasn't even thinking about 600 episodes. I was like, just start one. You could start one. You could do 2. If you could do 2, then you win. Then you do 3. Right. And I did 1 and I did 6. And then the first Monday, that next Monday was Christmas. And I was like, you know what? No, I did like 4 because it was whatever day that was. Whatever day the 18th was, 2023. I did a couple days, and then the next Monday was Christmas, or the next day was whatever it was. 7 days later was Christmas, and I didn't do it. So I was like, let me take the holiday off, right? And then the next holiday was New Year's Day, and I didn't do it. But then I was like, I'm still doing nothing, mostly at 9 a.m. on those days, right? Christmas, 9 a.m. I'm doing nothing. I'm in the bed. I'm at home. I'm chilling. New Year's Day, I should have did it. And so every day since then, Monday through Friday, no matter what holiday is, my birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, freaking June, whatever day it is, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. I do the show. And then as we approached episode 100, I was like, oh, not only have I always wanted to do a talk show, I've always wanted to do, as I mentioned, a live studio audience and talk to people. So you know what? Let me do a live audience. And the 100th episode, we did it at Flux Factory, had a good crowd. The 200th episode, we did it at Kimona School, right, up in Harlem. We had a good crowd, and the students were some of the guests, and they were the audience, right? So that was super dope. The 300th episode we did at Ben and Jerry's, right, in New Jersey. That was epic, right? Live audience. We had some guests. The 400th episode we actually did it at home, right? Because that's when I fractured my ankle. That's when I fractured my ankle, man, the day before the 400th episode. So we did it at home. And then the 500th episode, where I put the video up just a few days ago, we did it in Queensbridge at my community center, and that was super dope. But it started with one, and now we have 600th episode. And 600th episode was supposed to be outside, but didn't get to move yet, didn't get to get my stuff out. So we're here at the crib at home, where I've done the previous, 599 episodes, give it, right, the 100th episode. And we do got a special guest, man, Frank Bowles. So we're about to bring him up in a few more moments. We got 2 more segments to run through. We're going to get to our third segment of the day, which is our tip of the day. And today's tip is to simply claim whatever you want for yourself as if it is already yours. Yo, Vegan Kings, what's going on, my brother? What's going on, Vegan Kings? Dave, what's going on? Thanks for checking in on the TikTok, man. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being there. I appreciate the love. But that's the tip, to claim whatever you want for yourself as if it is already yours. And you're already walking in that space. See that shit. See that version of yourself. See you. See yourself as that version of yourself as clearly as you possibly can. Feel the emotions that come with being that version of yourself. Walk like them. Talk like them. Embody their disciplines. Embody their ways. What time would the best version of yourself wake up? What time would the best version of yourself go to sleep? What would you eat? The best version of yourself. What would you eat? What's the first thing you're putting in your body? What's the last thing you're putting in your body? How would you respond to people who may not treat you the best? How do you show for the people who you love, right? How does the best version of yourself, what is their day-to-day like, right? How do you dress? Are your clothes falling off for you? Like, do you take time getting dressed? What kind of oils do they wear, or perfume or cologne, right? What kind of soap do they use, right? Like, think about that. What books are they reading, right? How much are they writing a day? What does the best version of yourself do day in and day out, from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep? What is their days like? What are their days like? And embody those disciplines, embody those ways. And this thing is not just me saying this. This has been said by so many people in so many different ways. And I promise you, if you see that version of yourself and you claim that and you see yourself as that and you walk as that and you talk like that, slowly and surely, you become them. And again, it's been said by many, and I'm a walking testament, right? You guys know, many pretty much know my story, right? A lot of trouble, man. Time in prison. I can't even say the S word because TikTok gonna ban me and say talking about self-harm, right? But yeah, a lot of trouble. A lot of low vibrational thoughts. A lot of not so positive thoughts about my own life, all right? And yeah, just a lot of pain, man. And even after changing my life, I still wasn't who I am. But I said, you know what? What's my mission? It's to heal the world. And so who would that person be? That person's a world healer. That's who I am. I'm world healer, right? And I got it tattooed on my hand. And now we got the jewelry made, right? The bracelet, the chain, right? And that's who I call myself into existence. And that's who I am, day in and day out. And I've done so many things to heal the world, so many things to make the lives of so many people around me better, even people I don't even know, right? I've been able to positively impact their lives through the work that I've done and through the work that I do day in and day out. And so I'm grateful, man. And so take that. Claim whatever you want for yourself. I'm world healer. I am also the healthiest person on earth. I am also the wealthiest person on earth. I'm claiming that. Because why not? Because if there can be any one person who's the wealthiest person on earth, why can't it be you? Why can't it be me? Right? Like, and as 50 Cent said, get it or die trying. Get rich or die trying. Make it there or you die trying. Right? But as long as you are in pursuit of those goals, whatever those goals are, as long as you live long enough, right? As long as you keep going and you don't stop when the going gets tough, eventually you're gonna get there. Or you'll be closer than you was when you started. Because even if you die, you was in pursuit and you were closer than you was whenever you started a year ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm a lot closer today to being the healthiest and wealthiest person on earth than I was last year, right? When I started to claim that, than I was 5 years ago when it wasn't even a thought, right? So yeah, claim that shit. And then the fourth and final segment, man, our build of the day. Today's build is on how patience and timing are extremely key in every area of life, specifically as it relates to relationships and building something that you desire. You can approach someone with something, an idea, right? A vision. And they may say no, they may ignore you, or you may try it and it just doesn't work out. Whatever it is, right? Business relationship, intimate, romantic relationship, whatever it is. But patience is key because as long as there was no harm done, right? As long as there was no like violation, you can get back, right? And so I believe that it's good, again, especially if there's no violation and there's no like, nah, we just can't make it work, right? It's good to not write people off and to keep your cool so they don't write you off, especially if it's something that you really want to make happen. And this comes with emotional maturity, which is, we know that age doesn't equate to maturity, right? So this is something that's unfortunately rare, right? This is something that's unfortunately rare is emotional maturity. Because in a lot of cases, when things don't work out, people get in their feelings and they be like, fuck you, right? Fuck you, you ain't shit, right? Yeah, they talk all type of shit about you. And that's so whack, and that's so immature, and that's so unnecessary, right? This is why it's important to be emotionally mature, because you can then deal with the 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 the, the rejection. You can deal with somebody just ignoring. You can deal with somebody just saying no, right? It's like, okay, cool. Maybe not now, right? Maybe later. Again, if it's something that you want, as long as there's no violation, right? And specifically, I'm talking about business relationship, right? And so, because I approached somebody with something a few years ago, and it just like it wasn't. They didn't ignore me, right? But it was like, no, like I'm doing this right now. And I'm doing that. I was like, yo, this will work. This will work. And out of the blue, they hit me up. It was like, yo, let's do this thing. And I was like, yo, I've been waiting for this. I've been anticipating this shit for years. All right. But it's only able to come back around because nobody wrote nobody off, right? Nobody was in their emotions. There was no cursing out. There was no nothing like that. It was like, okay, cool. All right. You still my brother. I still got mad love for you. Right. And if it happens, it happens. Patience and timing. Right. And so yeah, I'm super excited, man. But that is the first half of our 600th episode. That's the first half of our 600th episode. Sefu Sankofa, what's going on, my brother? Listen, we are about to bring up our dear brother Frank Bowl. Let me give him a nice intro, right? Frank Bowl, again, he's a father, he's a husband, he's an educator, he is an art curator, he is a writer, director, producer, and specifically, he has an extremely dope, powerful musical coming up in just a few short weeks, May 8th. At the Schomburg Center in Harlem. It is called Courageous, the musical. We're going to let him get into how he built it, what went into it. I know he dealt with some challenges with it, but patience, right? Patience and timing. And he's a perfect example of that. Brother is on fire, man. He's done some incredible things. I've been to some of the things that he's done. I've watched from afar some of the things that he's done. And more importantly than what he's done that I love is who he is as a man, who he is as a friend, who he is as a father, who he is as a husband, how committed he is to his family, how, the brother is just phenomenal. He's a phenomenal human being. How committed he is to his country, right? His parents, right? His in-laws. Like, I'd be like, I do a lot, but as I see him, I'm like, yo, how you was here, but you was just in that country, and now you here? Like, how you in 3 places in 2 days, right? Like, as a father, right? Like, he's incredible, man. So without any further ado, we're going to make space and bring up our beloved brother, Frank Bow. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up. You gotta move. No, you gotta move this back though for me. Can you move that back, son? Back some more. Right there is good. Right there. Turn it this way a little bit. Yep, right there. You got Frank Bold in it. You got Frank Bold. My brother. Peace and love. How you doing?
Love,
top of the morning. Top of the morning. Babe, one more time. Come. You can stay right there. You can back it up a little more. I'm gonna get our whole bodies in the frame. Perfect. Yep, right there is perfect. So my brother,
yes,
talk to me. Frank Ball, Courageous the Musical coming up. How long have you been writing and directing plays?
Maybe about 8 years.
8 years.
Before we get into that, I can't just sit here and go over all the things you went on that you spoke about earlier in the show just now. Sitting there and listening to you. I don't think there's ever been a time where we spoke where I didn't learn something. And everything that you talked about on the show just now spoke to my life and spoke to my heart so much. You don't even know.
Wow.
It's crazy. It was like getting me emotional sitting there. And congratulations on 600 episodes.
Thank you.
600 anything for anybody. Anything. You know what I mean? It's something that takes commitment, takes courage, takes belief, takes everything that you spoke about earlier in the show. So I wouldn't feel right if I didn't commend you.
Thank you.
Salute you for everything that you do and the impact that you've made on my life. And I also have questions about the things that you spoke on. Before we get into, is that okay if I ask you?
Of course, that's okay. He's an interviewer too. He's an interviewer.
Nah, because I need to know.
You can't take a picture, right? Because you can get off and take a picture.
Yeah, because you spoke to my life. And so one thing that you mentioned was about, seeing the life that you want for yourself. And that's something that I try to practice. But oftentimes when people see the vision and the future for themselves, they don't realize that future self also comes with problems.
100%.
Also comes with issues.
100%.
I remember seeing myself as an educator thinking the students are going to love what I'm teaching. I'm going to get in there on the first day and they're going to be like, oh my God, he's so amazing. And the first day they took my hand out and threw it on the floor. I was like, I don't care about this shit. They was like, I want it. So it's like, how do you envision yourself in the future while also being prepared for whatever setbacks may come with that?
That's a question for me specifically.
Absolutely.
He's an interviewer for real. I mean, it's just knowing that, right? Knowing that, okay, I see myself as the wealthiest person in the world, as the healthiest person in the world. That's going to come with family challenges. That's going to come with expectations that are unrealistic. That's going to come with ridicule and judgment. It may come with having to sacrifice some relationships, right? It's going to come with time constraints and restrictions. I want to be here, but I got to do this, right? It's going to come with family sacrifice, right? Where even my wife, my children, I can't make that, right? I'm going to be here. There's going to come with some business stuff. Business partners probably be mad. I can't make that because I got to be here for my children and my family, right? So just knowing that, having that foresight, knowing that life comes with challenges and you can't foresee them, but you can imagine what they could be. So I know that, as they say, like new levels, new devils, right? More money, more problems, right? I think that the less money is more problems, right? But I understand more money creates because more people want to come at you, right? More people want stuff from you. More people want to sue you. More. So I know that. And so it's just like, I'm never going to let that stop me, though. I'm never going to let that impede my vision because I know that, one, in pursuit of the vision is the most important thing. Who I become is more important than actually becoming that person. It's because you are always becoming. And so in a journey of becoming the healthiest person in the world, I am the healthiest person in the world. Claim it, see it. So I mean, that's the best answer I got is the foresight to know that problems are going to come, to know that some things I could kind of anticipate as you get closer, some things are going to be like wrenches thrown in the game, curveballs, but knowing, again, emotional regulation, how to regulate yourself emotionally. Knowing how to calm your nervous system, right? Knowing having a support system where you can reach out and call and talk, right? So having all of that, knowing all of that, having all that in place is like, okay, I'm ready for whatever.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Another thing that you've helped me on tremendously is my meditation journey and learning how to be present and be in the moment. And the I ams is something that I've learned from you as well. So again, thank you. I commend you. And any success that I have moving forward, I have to attribute a lot of that to the emotional work that you've helped me build and being present and making sure that I have a responsibility not only to myself, but to heal the world, in your words.
Yo, I appreciate that, man. Now let's talk about that. You wrote your first play 8 years ago.
Yeah.
How did you get into playwriting?
Wow. It came from a dark place, honestly. It was a time in my life where I went to school for real estate development. And I found art pretty late in my life, and I got a job. I was living in Panama at the time, and I was working for a retirement community. And part of my job was to, do events for the retirees. And I realized that, wow, I'm here in my early 20s and I'm working with people who came to Panama. They were Americans and Canadians. They basically came there to die. Like, it hit me one day, like really hit me. Like, okay, this is it for them. This is their last stage. So I decided to ask everyone, if you could go back in time, is there anything that you would change? And all of them were, retired teachers, retired post office, government, those type of blue collar jobs that they would move to, a Caribbean or Central American country to get more bang for their buck. And they were all like, man, I would write that book. Wow. Man, I would take that dance class. I would do that thing. I would, because now I'm here and all I have to look forward to is the beach, which is nice. Yeah, but it's like all of those dreams that's within me, I can never accomplish them. So that day I was just like, man, I'm getting a ticket back to New York, and I don't care if I gotta sleep on the streets. I don't care if I gotta live in my car. I'm gonna get into the theater. I'm gonna be an artist in whatever way that I possibly can. And that started my journey. I just got a car, lived in my car, and took every dollar that I had as an Uber driver to make my first production.
Incredible. Yo, do y'all hear that? Did y'all hear? I think every great success story, really great success story, as different as they are, as unique as they are, has the same thing: sacrifice, right? Leaving one thing to go pursue what your heart was calling you to do, right? Whether it's leaving, like Steve Harvey talked about, leaving his job and losing his family twice, right, to pursue his dream of being on TV, right? Tyler Perry, right? Freaking singers singing on a train, right? Like, sacrifice. So before we get into, because I'm gonna fast forward a little bit, but the middle, how did you survive that? Like, having this comfort, having this standard, and you come from, like you said, Central American Caribbean parents who you got to be stable, right? You're the son. You got to get it. What was that? Yeah, how did you endure those times of personal, like, challenges, living in your car, taking the Uber stuff, doing all the things that you didn't want to do? And then if there was any pushback from your family, how did you navigate all of that? What was that process like for you?
Yeah, so the pushback definitely came.
Of course.
My parents were like, wait, what? You want to? And it eventually led me to starting my educational company, Bold Art Society, because they basically had an intervention with me. They sat me down. I was shocked. I was happy to do it. I was actually, man, now that I think about it, with all the responsibilities I have, that was probably one of the happiest moments of my life, living in that car. I have videos of just me happy because I'm living my dream. I'm doing what my purpose was. I felt it. So when my parents called me over and I see my sisters, my brother, my family there, and they're like, yo, what are you doing? Like, why are you leaving this stable situation to come here? There's nobody who we know in the arts, there's no leg up that we can give you. And now you're going to be living in your car. Like, what are you doing? And in that moment, I realized that I had to start some sort of company for other kids who may be feeling this way within the arts. Like, I saw that it was a need in the marketplace for young artists, that if you're a young artist, there are no direct paths to a successful career as a playwright or as a filmmaker or as an actor. So I decided to create one myself. I was like, you know what? No other kid is going to feel this way if I can help it. And if that can be my contribution to humanity by creating some sort of organization and infrastructure where students can have some sort of path to where their parents can say, all right, if you're a part of this organization, at least we know that you can be safe somewhat, or there's somebody looking out for your career. So I just always been a positive person. Les Brown has been somebody that has influenced me tremendously. So at that stage of my life in particular, I was a Les Brown fanatic. Anybody who know Les Brown, please look him up. He's a legend and as a human. And he got me through a lot of those dark times. He has a speech called Getting Unstuck, just getting unstuck and, using everything that comes at you to your benefit. And if there's a problem that you're going through, it's probably actually an opportunity in disguise. 100%. And that has set me up for exactly where I am today. That mentality. Incredible.
Les Brown is, I quote him all the time. If you get knocked down, try to land on your back. Because if you could look up, you could get up. Les Brown is an absolute legend. Absolute legend. A few years ago, I thought about going to he has the academy or something like that down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I thought about going, right? Because I know that like we speak the same language, and I know that if I can get around him, like he gonna feel a vibe, and we'll be able to connect and make even greater things happen.
You reminded me of him. That's why he came to mind just now. As I'm sitting there, I'm like, yo, he literally reminded me of Les Brown, those days where it's so important to have people like you and people like him in the world that can just feed into you when you're in that moment of darkness, man, because it feels so lonely. You know what I'm saying? Landing on your back and knowing Les Brown's story, knowing your story, it's just so necessary. So again, I commend you on 600 times you getting in front of people and giving them that motivation that they need to make it through the day, because you have no idea that person might be on the edge.
Yo,
they see you know, the notification that your show is coming on, and it calms them down and it makes them go, I could at least get it through another day. And I know for sure Sugar Ray's gonna be here for me tomorrow. So
powerful.
Thank you for all the work.
Thank you. And that's the mindset, right? If I can get through today, I just spoke about that yesterday. I was like, you just do one more minute, right? One more hour, one more day, one more month, one more season, one more. If I can just get through one more day, one more step, that's how you get to the top of the mountain. And we spoke earlier about sacrifice. Les Brown also slept in his office floor. He said the people knew he was sleeping there, but he would act like he wasn't. Exactly. Like, I'm working late. I'm working early. But he was sleeping in the office. And then they came and told him, you can't sleep here. Right? And now look where he's at now. So every great success story goes through those times of loneliness, goes through those times of discomfort, goes through that sacrificing your comfort for your dream. Right? Because your dream is everything. And Einstein said your imagination, your dream is life's coming attraction, is the preview to life, is everything. Without your dream, it says in the Christian text, a man without a vision shall perish. What vision do you have for yourself? So now getting back to you, fast forward today, Courageous the musical, writer, director, producer, got some great cast members, former students, right? You've been through some challenges though.
Absolutely.
You've been through some challenges putting this thing together. It's coming out in 3 weeks. Yeah, about 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today. No, today's Tuesday. 3 weeks from, I don't know. Friday. 3 weeks from Friday. Yes, May 8th. Did you see yourself when you wrote your first play here? You've been through education. You got it. Did you see yourself here? It is at the Schomburg, a place that you love, a place that we love, a place that's historical. Like, was this musical part of your vision, or did it evolve from your experience as an educator?
It definitely evolved from my experience as an educator. So any play that I write, it always comes from, it's basically a diary of where I was in that stage of my life. So that first play that I did was based off of, you know, me going to college and thinking, it was basically in 2 acts. The first act was senior year of college, and that expectation of when I go out into the world, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna that. And then the second act was 10 years later, where, you know, the character's a struggling artist and stuff like that. And then every play ever since then has always been like where I was at that time. So in particular with Courageous, it came from 7 or 8 years of me teaching high school students. A lot of that in Harlem, you know, in Queens, in Jamaica, Queens. I've taught in Flatbush, Brooklyn. And I noticed that no matter where we are, we're the same, you know. And a lot of those experiences that the students were going through, I take to my superiors, I take to the principal, I take to the directors of schools, and I say, hey, look, I get it. Regions are important. I get it. Math is important. Social studies is important. But they're trying to survive. They're trying to figure out, how am I going to live? Not just survive like food-wise. And that is also a major problem as well. But they can't walk down certain blocks or else just for being from where they're from can get them literally killed. And oftentimes, every time, you know, when I'm faced with asking these people these questions, their response was the same. That's not our job. You know, like our job is to get them to graduate. Our job is to, you know, we can't take care of those problems. That's not our business. So I decided, you know what, if there's a problem, it's an opportunity. So I decided to write Courageous so that the students can have something where they saw themselves, that they weren't alone, that there's someone out there that sees them for who they are, that they're coming into this building and it was basically 2 separate worlds. I'd be in these, you know, PDs and meetings with other educators, and we're not talking about these problems. You know, we're talking about how do we get them to do more homework? How do we get them to be on time? And it's like, well, one affects the other. 100%. If they're thinking about survival, they don't care about right triangles. 100%. They can't even fathom, you know, this essay that you're talking about that's from this European writer in the 1800s or whatever. So that was the genesis of Courageous, was something that can be a time capsule to our students to say, we see you, we understand you, and there's always a solution to those problems. There's people in your community that are here for you, and I'm one of them.
Fire. How important was it for you in writing this play and putting it together to have some of your students and some students from the high school and just young people in general? How important was that to you to have them part of this?
It was extremely important, specifically the students that we have. Shout out to Bryce, shout out to Terrell. It was extremely important because these were students that were in my class that I saw had tremendous talent already. But again, they were like, yo, Mr. Bold, how do I navigate this world as an artist? So it was tremendously healing and important for me to give them that opportunity, so I can say, I can give you that opportunity. Fire. You know, I'm not coming from, you know, LaGuardia. I'm not coming from Juilliard and these places. I'm from Harlem, you know, like I'm from the projects. I don't know how to get on stage. So it was tremendously important for me to give them that opportunity to say, we don't have to run to Broadway. We don't have to run outside of our community. We could have something of class, of excellence right here in our community, right here in Harlem, at a place that is historic, at a place that is designed to preserve culture. So being at the Schomburg, having students that are from Harlem in it is, I won already. It's a dream come through. And I'm like, yo, if no matter what happens, we get there that day. If they forget their lines, I won. We were at the Schomburg, we did something. That's success for me. You know, obviously I know they will do an extremely good job, but it's perspective, like you said earlier, you know, like put in that perspective. Even before you started the show, you was dropping gems about, you know, like, yo, all of these things are happening, but I have the ability to say, I got a laptop, I got a phone, I got a desktop, you know, all of these things. I look at it the same way. It's like, yo, how about this? An opportunity to be at Schomburg. My wife's 8 months pregnant, you know, so it's like coinciding right within the time when my first son is going to come, right on Malcolm X Boulevard. So it's just like all of these things to me equal success, not necessarily like how rich I get. That's just the icing on the cake. But the fact that I was able to give them this opportunity, this moment in time, is priceless for me.
100% it is. 100% it is. Let's stick with the students for a moment, the young people. What have you seen change in them as they've been rehearsing, right? From when you first met them and you introduced the arts to them, Bold Art Society to them, and now today, rehearsing, preparing for this play. What have you seen change in how they show up and just in them in general? Have you seen anything change? And if so, what was that?
Man, that's a great question. It's become a family atmosphere, right? Because they know me from the classroom. That respect level has always been there, but they've become leaders of the production, right? They're the ones who are making sure they're at every rehearsal, making sure other people come there, you know, all the other cast members are there on time. They're organizing rehearsals that I'm not even at. They're starting group chats and meeting up outside of it and then calling me, telling me like, hey, we've been working on this scene, coming up with extra scenes, because in our class, we teach the whole process of filmmaking. So they're writers as well. So they've added scenes to it. And I'm just like, yo, if y'all have a plan and y'all can present it to me and it makes sense within the context of the story, let's do it. They've been writing their own songs for the music. So it's been just to see them evolve, and their fathers as well. So them bringing their kids to rehearsals has been a beautiful thing. I'm bringing my daughter to rehearsal. It always feels like a family reunion because it's like, oh, our kids are getting to hang out with each other. Because oftentimes childcare is a problem. So I'm like, yo, I don't care if they screaming. There might be somebody screaming at it's live theater. You know what I mean? Somebody might, who knows what happened. That's the beauty of theater. It's not like a film. So if there's a crying baby at rehearsal, cool. That's going to make you better on stage 100%. Because there might be a crying baby that day. And you can't let anything knock you off your square. So it's been a beautiful atmosphere seeing them evolve from teenagers to fathers to now professional actors, and seeing them seeing me as a father, seeing them as father. It's just been, it's a family, I would say. Nice. That's the atmosphere that's been created so far. So again, we won already. I keep telling them that, like, take the pressure off yourselves, have fun up there. This is your story, right? Like, we're bringing outside inside, right? We're not coming here trying to change ourselves. Just tell that story. You have a responsibility to tell your truth. And that's what people are coming to see, the truth on what our young people are facing every single day as we speak. There's somebody at the morgue right now. There's somebody who just got shot. There's somebody who lost a brother, lost a son, lost, a father. And these are stories that I feel like in our educational system we tend to ignore, in a large way, and say that it's not our problem. So I take huge responsibility in being the mantle holder for that story to pass it on to future generations.
And that's powerful. I mean, you just reminded me of something, one of my favorites, Nina Simone said, an artist's responsibility is to depict the signs of the top, right? What's going on right now? Like, yes, the ideal, and yes, what it should be, but it ain't. It's what it is right now. Right now, there are brothers and sisters dying. There are brothers and sisters outside selling poison to their community. There are sisters selling their bodies just to feel some kind of comfort, some kind of love, to make some kind of money. That's the reality of our neighborhoods, of our country, of our people, and of the world in so many different ways, right now. And so we have to highlight them. And we spoke about it on SRDaily, or my night stream just a few days ago. Was like the role, like, what does future education look like? Future education should be about building the whole human, not about creating workers, not about just teaching compliance, not about teaching memorization. People need to learn how to process their emotions. They need to learn how to navigate the world. They need to learn how to connect with others genuinely, authentically. I'll be getting tongue-tied. 25 days of no food, man. It'll make you a little woozy in the head. You hear me? But next, I want to get into, without getting into details, how did you navigate? Right? We don't need to know the challenges. But how did you navigate the challenges? Because there were some challenges for a few weeks in this production. There was some stuff, some tension, some pushback. There was some not sure, like, what could happen. How did you navigate that? What inside of you, what source, where did you go to really, like, dig in and be able to find a different level of being, to be able to push through and circumvent all of those challenges, to get back to this space where today you seem a lot happier and more at peace than you did when I spoke to you 3 weeks ago?
Yes.
What did you have to do to navigate and to get here?
Man, that is a powerful question. So I would say integrity is number one. Shout out to my parents, for instilling that in me, because when you have integrity, at the end of the day,
at
the end of the day, the truth will always rise.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? The truth will always rise. Sometimes it might take a day, sometimes it might take a year. But at the end of the day, if you have integrity and you stand on your principles, whoever who you lose was meant to be lost.
Facts.
And whoever who stays and whoever who is around you are the people that are meant to be there, because a dollar doesn't move me. Like I said, talking to Les Brown, I'm cool with, now that I have children, it's a little different, but I've always been cool with being at the bottom, because I know I have the talent and the skill set and the work ethic and the integrity to get back up whenever I need to get back up. But if my morals have to be in question, then it's a position that I don't want to be in. And how I navigated that was understanding that, knowing that, like, okay, I'm willing to walk away based off of my morals, based off of doing the right thing for myself and doing the right thing for everybody that's involved. And it was just a matter of time before everybody else seen that, and all of the people that was a part of it decided, like, okay, we see now, because again, truth always rises to the top. So no matter what comes at you, I love this quote that says, live in a way that when people talk bad about you, nobody will believe them. And that's how I live my life. So it's like, you can say whatever dirt you want about me, but anybody who actually has experienced me in any type of way is going to be like, whoa, he's not perfect, but he ain't that. I've never seen it. And that goes for years, my whole life. So when you live that way, I don't really worry, because it's like, I know the people that know me, and I know them in the same way, and the people that I know that I have in my corner know the true essence of who I am and what I'm about. And again, I'm not saying I'm perfect in any shape of the word. I have a lot of flaws, but being a good man isn't one of them. You know what I'm saying? That's something that I know for sure that I am, without a shadow of a doubt. I have confidence in my integrity as a man and my love for my people. And that will always shine through over time. And I look at my heroes, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey. These are people, when they were alive, even Martin Luther King, people did not like them. People talked bad about them. And when I look at my life through comparing it to the people that I look up to, I would be a fool if I didn't think that I wouldn't have people that's going to come against me or people that's going to talk bad about my name. But at the end of the day, the work speaks for itself. And that's what lives on longer than myself.
100%.
So that's what keeps me grounded, knowing that my work is going to outlive me, and the people who know me will keep my name alive.
100%. 100%.
I don't know if that answers your question.
No, 100%. 100%. I mean, yeah, integrity, right? You thank your parents, right? And just leaning into your morals is how you navigated that, right? Staying cool, calm, and collected, right? Like feeling it, but like not giving into those emotions, not lashing out, being who you're supposed to be, who you are, right? Now, May 8th, Harlem, Schaumburg. You already won. Young people doing it, bringing children, family. What's next after? Like May 8th happens, it's done. It's a great night, standing ovation, great crowd, media there, photos taken, articles written. What's next for Courageous the Musical?
Great question. So we have a curriculum attached to it that we're opening it not only to schools, but to organizations, community centers, churches, because we realize again that students oftentimes, school isn't the only place that they congregate, and schools aren't the only places that care for children. There are a lot of great community programs out there and organizations that want to do good work, but they just don't have the means or the curriculum in place or the programming in place, the systems in place to actually make that difference. So our goal is to partner with as many organizations as possible to bring Courageous to their institutions, but also tie it to curriculum where they can analyze the musical for the themes that's covered. Themes like that S word that you talked about that we can't say, but when people don't feel good about themselves and might not want to be here anymore. Dealing with trauma, family trauma, parents and losing children to prison or death. These are themes that are covered in the musical that we have a curriculum attached to not only teach you the creative side on how to build your own production, but how the social and emotional tools to deal with these problems. So our goal is to take Courageous around the country to every place in the world where our people are affected by this plague of gun violence and harm to our community that's caused by many different factors that we discuss throughout the musical.
Fire. I think that's brilliant. Yeah, you're a real brilliant dude, man.
Oh, thank you, brother.
You're a real brilliant dude. Like, I really love how it's something I learned years ago, right? It's like you have one thing, and it's not about just creating new things, about how can you expand that one thing to like get as much out of it as you can, right? So you got to play, you got a musical, not just saying, oh, it's another musical, it's another. It's like, no, like we want to take this thing, we know how important it is, we want to spread it, we want to grow it this way. A lot of times people want to grow this way, but growing this way is, I think, more people get impacted, right? Especially by that one thing.
I just have to say that is 100% because of you. Why I think that way. There are very few times in my life where I can specifically remember when my life was changed. And hanging out with you the very first time we hung out was 100% one of those times. And I know I say this to you all the time, and I'll always say it for the rest of my life. You showed me that I had a responsibility, not only as an artist, but as a man of my people. That being an organizer and helping the community is just as important as well. If not more important. You know, it is the work. That is where the real work is. So if I were to say that my goal is to go to Broadway, cool if we get to Broadway. But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to exploit the story and exploit my people. You showed me I have a responsibility. That word responsibility is, you never told me this, like, Frank, you better do this. Just seeing the way you lived your life, I was like, man, I need to do that. With whatever artwork I do, like you said, instead of just looking up, I'm looking to the side to see how many people can we bring with us.
Together we rise.
Exactly. So I can't just take say I'm brilliant and I came up with this. It was a responsibility that I saw the way you carried your life, that like, man, I have to do that now. Like everything I do, I have to think about how is my people going to benefit from this? And if they can't benefit from this, I don't want anything to do with it. And speaking of those challenges, that was one of the challenges. There were people a part of the organization that just wanted the financial gain, just wanted that aspect. And I was like, whoa. What makes us different than anybody else who's just exploiting our stories for profit? We have to bring everyone with us. We have to solve the actual problem, or at least attempt to, in order for this to be a successful.
That's real.
So thank you again.
Thank you for the acknowledgement, and thank you for just, I believe that people connect for a reason, and like we each teach each other, right? So same way I'm learning a lot from you, right? Just getting back to your roots, right? My thing is writing, and I struggle getting back to it because, like, again, yeah, it's a lot. But thank you for being an example. And also, one thing I love, I was telling Kimona the other day, I'm really inspired by people who do things that I don't do or can't do, right? So as much as I'm a writer, and as much as I've acted in plays and I've written films, the way you have done it is not something that I do, and so it allows me to, even though I'm not writing as much as I would like to, and I'm not producing plays at all, I can see my brother do it. I'm like, okay, somebody's doing it, and is with the same intention and with the same, like, pretty much like my thing has been gun violence. I would write something about gun violence. You're doing it, so I could rest and be like, all right, let me just focus on where my spirit is taking me, right? But real quick, looking forward 10 years from now, in the future, where's Bold Art Society? What is Frank Bold praying? I think you're gonna make more babies. You said you don't know about that. I think in 10 years you have at least another one or two. You say you don't know. The way these last 3 years have gone. Yeah.
My wife got a vote in that. Shout out to her.
She does.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. But where are you as a writer? Where's Bold Art Society as an organization in 10 years?
So in 10 years, I would like to be the NCAA of the arts.
Fire.
Basically, creating that infrastructure where students don't have to feel like they need to compromise on their integrity in order to succeed in this business, which we hear time and time again. There's countless documentaries on this, how young people get exploited in the entertainment industry. Yep. So what I want to do is create an infrastructure in which they can compete just like how they compete in sports. Because right now, we can Google right now who's the top point guard in high school in 9th grade, and you go by grade all the way from middle school.
Yeah,
who's the top quarterback? Who's the top this? But if I were to ask, who's the top actor in 6th grade in America right now? We don't know it. Yeah. Who's the top cinematographer or screenwriter? So I want to create that infrastructure where they can be ranked so that they can get funding, so that they can get sponsored, just like how Nike sponsors young athletes. Canon should be sponsoring our young artists.
100%.
You know, Broadway should be sponsoring our young 100%. Artists. All of the, you know, Nikon, all of these places, so that way students can have that infrastructure where they don't need to rely on compromising their morals in order to succeed. And and a huge part of how we're grading that is not just your technical ability and mastery of the craft, but their societal impact in the story that you're trying to tell. You know, are you actually creating stories that are having a societal message? So we graded, the name of our company is Bold Art Society, and the way that we judge the competition is on Bold Art Society. So boldness is originality. How unique is it? What have you done with this project that only you can do? That is through your lens, right? Artistic mastery is the art, and then societal message. What message are you bringing to society to bring awareness to an issue that we all need to discuss? And to me, that creates a fulfilled artist, a complete artist. And those are the type of artists that we want to come through our program with that sense of responsibility that they have to be original, they have to master their craft, and they have to be stewards of society.
Yo, I want to help you build that, brother. I'm gonna help you build that. You got me.
Appreciate that.
You got me. You got me. You got me. That's incredible. Oh man, listen, guys. This is Frank Bold here. Bold Art Society on Instagram. He is Black People Please Unite. All right. Courageous the Musical, man. Courageous Musical. Look it up on IG. Look it up. Just Google it, right? Courageous the Musical. You have a website?
Yes, courageousthemusical.com.
Courageousthemusical.com. Check the website. Get your tickets. Tickets still available? Tickets still available. May 8th. What time?
Cocktail hour at 6, showtime start at 7.
Cocktail hour 6 p.m. Cocktail hour 6 p.m. Showtime 7 p.m. Kimona and I are gonna be there. We got VIP tickets. Get your tickets. How much are tickets?
Tickets are $50.
Tickets are $50. VIP 75. Get your tickets. Be there. Contribute. Not just contribute to organization doing great work for our young people, but get an experience. Get an experience. This is art. This is theater, right? And what we're saying is you don't got to go to Broadway to see the great theater. You don't got to go to all these other places. You can come right here in Harlem. Well, go right to Harlem. We in Queens, but you go right to Harlem, see some Black young people doing their thing in a play created by a young Black man, right, who is committed to his people, who is committed to healing the world. Yeah, man, Courageous the Musical, May 8th, 2026. That's 3 weeks from Friday. Cocktail hour, 6 p.m. I told him he got to have some vegan snacks,
Well,
some vegan
100%.
treats. I'll be fresh with my 50-day fast. I want some fruit.
I got you.
Right? Because people don't be having fruit. Right? They give you a little dry shit. We want some good shit. Some non-alcoholic beverages, some sparkling cider. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a vibe, man. But look, check him out, Ojo Society. Look him up. He's doing incredible work. Look up Bold Arts Society. Check them out, man, and get involved. Get in tune. You may have some young people. You may have some ideas. One thing I love about him, he's open to collaborating. He's open to how we can collaborate to get the message across and to do these great work for ourselves and for our young people and to build a better future. But listen, man, that's episode 600. 600 episodes in the books, and now the road to 700 begins. Tomorrow is episode 1 again. Right, tomorrow's episode 1, and the road to 700 begins, and I'm super excited, man. My heart is full. I'm so grateful that I was coming in today, no guest. Kimona was like, "No, you gotta have a guest." And I was like, babe, I still gotta move, and I just didn't have the energy. And she's like, "No, let's get bold. The player's coming out," and she reached out, and that's why I told her she needs to be my manager, because she's great at she's a great thinker. She's a great action taker. She'll get it done. Right. But listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna drink some sparkling water with my brother here before he got to run. Right. Again, he's a dad. His wife is 7.5 months pregnant. Got another baby coming. So he got moves to make. Sefu, thank you for tuning in. Everybody on TikTok, thank you for tuning in. Miss Juicy's on TikTok. I said, cop your ticks today. Listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Remember, it ain't getting knocked down that's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. The power is in you. Be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love.